Welcome everybody, my name's Jeff St Laurent and this is the Tuesday Live Show coming at you each and every week. I do record all of my Tuesday Live shows. I put them on my university at sellingcoaching.com. So I help coaches transition to a full-time business. I have a lot of great resources on my website at sellingcoaching.com. If you want to start off right on the homepage and you enter your name and email, not only is that going to get you an audio resource, which is called Launching Your Coaching Business, the First 3 Vital Steps, but that's also going to put you in my email community, which is going to allow you to get some great information on a weekly basis to help you transition to full-time. With that being said, if you are watching this now, I am launching another 5-month group mentor coaching program towards the end of this month. So the information is down below if you want to click there and enter your name and email, and that will take you over to learn more about that program. So check that out. And obviously, if you're watching this at a different time, if you're going to watch a recording of this, then you can definitely still click that link, and that will put you in my priority pre-registration. So I will notify you when I am doing another program. But with that being said, I want to talk about today's topic, which is stop setting goals and do this. And obviously I'm going to tell you what to do as opposed to setting goals. But a lot of the times the reason for this, especially as we are, starting a new year, but anytime you're starting your business, a lot of times people will tell you to set goals. Gurus, personal development, etc. Set goals, set goals, set goals. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't set goals necessarily. What I'm going to do today is just talk about maybe what kind of goals you should set, or give you a little different perspective on it, especially when it comes to specifically our coaching business. And because I find a lot, and I did this too, a lot of coaches that I've worked with, and you hear all the time, people are coming into this business saying like, oh, I want to get, I hear this from my clients all the time, like, oh, I want to get 3 clients this month. Or I want to get a certain amount of clients this month, or each month throughout the year. Or I want to earn a certain amount of money, or I want to earn this much money this year. And those are a couple examples of what I hear. Some other things like people will say, oh, I want to get, a couple speaking engagements next month. And so when we set goals like that, and it depends on how far you take it. When people set goals, that you might have heard of the SMART goals, right? SMART, right? You make it specific and it's measurable, action orientated, and is it realistic or not, etc. So I'm not a big fan of goal setting. And I'll tell you why in a second, and I'm obviously going to conclude with what to do with this. But what I'll say with this is, and the reason why I don't specifically like to recommend setting goals like that, and I'll tell you more about that, is that because I find that, number one, those goals can actually, by setting those goals, it can actually limit you. Now, yes, it can also do the reverse, and it can also push you as long as your goal is big enough. But then it becomes, is it too big where it demotivates you, right? So sometimes goals can demotivate you in different ways. Demotivate you in the sense that if it's way unrealistic or way big, and it's what is the number or the goal in reference to, and what experience do you have that has led you to believe that, or you think that you can actually achieve that goal, right? So sometimes if it's very unrealistic, it can be very demotivating. Sometimes we set goals that sound good in our head, and that's what we love to have happen, but are so unrealistic that it almost protects us from having to actually do it. And then when we realize we're not even going to come close, we kind of give up, and it demotivates us. And then also sometimes they're not good because if you set a goal and it's not pushing you enough, and you can easily achieve it, once you start or realizing that, oh, I'm going to blow this goal away, I found most people let off the gas. Whereas, if you didn't set that goal, you might have gone way past that and not even have ever looked back. I remember the first year, I think it was like 2005, when my first 6-figure year income-wise in my business, my coaching business anyways, and I set a goal to do 6 figures that year. I didn't give a specific number, but obviously it was $100,000 or more. And I remember I went past it at I think it was $123,000, and which was great. But I also noticed that as I started realizing, that I was gonna, more than achieve that goal, there was a part of me that kind of was like content about it. But I kept going, and it didn't stop me, and therefore I lapsed that goal by quite a bit, by 25%, which is good. But I found a lot of the times people don't do that. And so those are a couple reasons why I find goal setting doesn't necessarily help us, even though a lot of people will say like, oh, set some goals. And the other reason I don't recommend goal setting with specific types of goals, and I'll say what those are, and I'll say result specific goals, like how many clients you want to get this month, like how much money you want to earn in a given month or calendar year, let's say, or how many speaking engagements you want to have in a given time frame. Right? Those are results-based goals. I don't recommend setting results-based goals because you cannot control, with the things that I'm talking about there, you cannot control those actually happening. Like, you can't control how many new clients you're going to get this month. You can't. You can work as hard as you possibly want, and you might get 10, you might get 0, you might get a few. Like, you can't control that. That's a result that is zero bearing, within zero amount of your control. And so when we start doing that, we're setting ourselves up for failure, because now I'm focused on the wrong thing. I'm focused on the outcome, which I have no control over. And so that gives us little to no power. What I want you to do instead, right? This whole point of this is to stop setting goals, okay, and do what? So now, instead of focusing on outcome goals or result-based goals, focus on action goals or activity-based goals. If you're gonna set a goal based on your activity, the activities that will produce the results you want. So it's like, I'll liken it again to fitness and health. You know, if you're going to release some weight, or people say lose weight, I like to say release weight. And I'm going to lose 5 pounds this month, 20 pounds this month, or I'm going to lose 30 pounds by whatever, February, whatever, whatever the date is. You can't control that. You can't control that. That may or may not happen. You might release a lot more, you might release a lot less. That's zero under your control. But what is under your control is the activities that will produce that result.